Oh, that's good. You know what's really good about it? I actually roasted this coffee myself, and you can too. So this video, as I mentioned before, is a departure from video games. But lots of coffee fuels lots of video game playing, you got to admit. So my wife and I actually have a cup of this, well, more than one cup, every morning. And we try coffees from around the world. And we do the roasting in our backyard, in a machine. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our journey through this. So today's video is not sponsored by anyone. I will mention a couple of companies that I've used in the past to actually purchase the beans, and they may not be the best. And if anyone watching this video is into the coffee selling business, the wholesale, I'll pop you in the description. Just send me a message, put it in the comments. Happy to do it. Or if you yourself roast your own coffee, I'd love to have your comments in there. So this episode on BrewUnited is actually about roasting your own coffee. It's not going to be an exclusive in-depth guide on what to do. But what I can tell you is maybe it's something you want to try. So stick around and find out. Okay, so if you're still watching this video, first thing you're probably going to be asking yourself is, all right, how do I do this? Okay, well, first thing, you got to figure out coffee beans. You got to figure out where to get coffee beans, okay? So I'm going to go through one place that I've been using, and it's called Sweet Maria's. So they sell coffee from many different places all around the world. They have tasting profiles, so you can figure out what you like, and you can then order it direct. So it comes to the house, and then you have yourself a 1 pound bag of green coffee beans. You can have yourself a 5 pound bag. There's a 10 pound bag, and let's show you the big one. Oh, there is a 20 pound bag of coffee. So, wow, I need a lift. 20 pounds of coffee is a lot to go through. Now, what would the average 2 people drink in a week? Well, if you're like my wife and I, we roast about 12 ounces of coffee per week, and that lasts us roughly 6-7 days. Now, sometimes, and you may be this person, you're out there going, you know what? I drink more than that. Okay, so you might. So what does this cost? All right, why would you do this? Well, for one, there could be an economic reason to do it. So $5 to $6 per pound coffee is very doable on this site, and with shipping, maybe it's a little bit more. So buying in bulk, 20 pounds, we actually have like 100 pounds downstairs, but that's a different discussion. But you can actually save money. So what's the average bag of coffee going for? Pop it right here. Your average run-of-the-mill. Let's just use Starbucks, right? Starbucks right here. So for that price, a little bit of kitchen math, and you can say, all right, if this is $5 to $6 per pound, by the way, it could go up to 18 to 20 if you're looking at really exotic beans. We're not going to touch on that in this particular episode. But what we're talking about is pretty cheap savings. Now, you're going to need something to roast it. And here's the funny story of how we started out on a popcorn air popper. Now, I thought we were like this really bohemian type setup, right? We weren't. Lots of people actually start out roasting on an air popper. It was really good because we've tasted for the first time fresh coffee. Now, there's lots of now micro roasting coffee houses that are out there. We have one locally where I live, and their coffee is actually pretty good. But typically they roast it more, like for Starbucks for me, they just roast that way too much. But typically every place roasts too much for me. So I like a nice medium coffee where you can get a really nice flavor coming out of it. So that's what actually I like and my wife likes. Now, everyone around me seems to like really dark coffee, and then get good for you. You know, that's great. Okay, now that we've gotten where to buy the coffee out of the way, and we've talked about the air popper roasting, let me actually show you the process, and I'll show you kind of some of the things you should look out for, and we'll talk about some of the terminology right here. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is to get an accurate scale to make sure that you're getting whatever measurement of coffee you want to do. So our machine can do a pound of coffee. That's not actually what I've found out. It's rated for that, but Really, if you want a solid roast, you want to make sure you can either take it from medium to dark, you're going to want to do a little bit lower. So instead of 16 ounces, we actually go with 12. So the machine we use to roast our coffee is the Behmor 1600. We've had it for quite a few years. It's battle hardened. You can see it's got some discoloration from the coffee roasting over the years. I can say after hundreds of roasts and even the fact that I really don't maintain it well, it has been an absolute beast as far as roasting coffee. After you hook up the machine to the power, you're basically going to want to take the coffee that we pre-measured and you're going to want to put it in the roasting cylinder. It's pretty easy to put it in there. One thing to notice though is that hinge. If you're trying to shake off the coffee at the end, one of the problems is you better hold both ends because that door will go flying open and all your nice roasted coffee that latch holds will go flying out. So one thing you're going to make sure of when you first put it in is that the rotisserie basket fits perfectly. So it's got a side and it's also got a rotating piece on the left. If it doesn't move as shown here, you basically are just going to roast one side and burn your coffee. And then you also put in the tray to make sure that any of the chaff that comes off, which you'll see near the end of the roasting, is secure. Once you've completed that, it's pretty easy. Hit 1 pound of coffee. I hit power 1 and I hit start. And then you can see the roasting basket is moving as we expected. Very good. So there's a learning curve here on how to roast to your preferred level. This is about 17 minutes to roast at medium, and that's going to vary on a lot of things. You know, outside air temperature, if you've preheated this particular device, all kinds of things. From here, our coffee's done, so I'm going to hit cool. And I'm going to show you the chaff that I was talking about earlier. You can see the smoke, you can see the chaff coming off the popped coffee beans. There is a whole art to understanding when to stop this. This video won't cover that. I'll pop a link in the description to explain all that. Okay, 17 minutes of roast, about 12 minutes of cooling, and we are ready. Let's pull the coffee out. Let's show you the color. And look at that. A little bit of chaff coming off, but this is actually really clean coffee. Really impressed, and just a perfect roast. You can see it's medium. We'll just do a little bit of a dive here and show you on my hand the color. Look at that. Beautiful, fresh roasted coffee. Okay, so I did most of this video from the economic standpoint, but let me go ahead and just wrap up with saying it just tastes way better to do it this way. It's my personal belief, and unless you've tried fresh roasted coffee, you really have no idea what you're missing. So you can look into some websites that actually do roasting, and they actually send in a really short period of time from fresh roasted. I guess that would be pretty good, you know, if you don't want to do this investment. But you know what? Find someone that does this locally, you know, try it out, learn more about it. I mean, really, if you're into coffee and you just keep getting the same run-of-the-mill stuff from the store, or you go by Starbucks or something, try something different. I mean, branch out. That's what this video is about. It's about to challenge you, the viewer, to maybe reach a little bit outside your comfort zone. Would I try the air popper again? Yeah. If I hadn't done this, I would do that. I would get like a $10 air popper from wherever, and I would try it. There's other methods to do it. So what I've shown you is the Behmor. That's actually the one that I roast in. Again, I've done hundreds of roasts on this thing, and it's worked really well. So I hope this video has maybe shown you some sides of coffee roasting. Maybe it has inspired you to try it yourself. Or maybe it's just like, you know what, Brew, this is good for you, but it's not good for me. Anyway, that's fine. I just wanted to pop it out there, let you see a little bit different world other than kind of the video games behind me, and also share with you a passion that I have for coffee. So take care, everyone. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. And we'll see you on the next episode of whatever type of topic I'm doing. Take care.